Murphy's Law takes a vacation. When Sophie Dubois booked her dream vacation from Paris to Santiago, Chile, she imagined sipping Chilean wine beneath the Andes, snapping photos of colorful street art in Valparaiso, and feeling the Pacific breeze in her hair. What she did not imagine was a series of disasters so absurd that she would one day laugh about them after months of therapy, perhaps. It all began at Charles de Gaulle Airport on a rainy Tuesday morning. Sophie, ever the optimist, underestimated Parisian traffic. Her taxi crawled through endless congestion as she anxiously checked her watch every 2 minutes. By the time she reached the airport, her flight had already closed its gate. She pleaded, argued, and even tried the classic "but it's my honeymoon," which was only half true, as she wasn't actually married. The airline staff remained unmoved. She would have to wait 14 hours for the next flight. Trying to stay positive, Sophie decided to explore the terminal. She bought an overpriced cappuccino and immediately spilled it down her pristine white blouse. As she rushed to clean it, the strap of her handbag snapped, scattering her passport, lip balm, and half-eaten croissant across the polished floor. A toddler gleefully stepped on her croissant while his mother apologized profusely. Sophie smiled through gritted teeth. 14 long hours later, she finally boarded the plane only to discover that her seat was wedged between a man with a severe snoring problem and a chatty teenager who wanted to practice his English by explaining every Marvel movie ever made. When turbulence hit somewhere over the Atlantic, Sophie clutched her armrest and reconsidered every life choice that had brought her there. Upon arrival in Santiago, things did not improve. Her luggage was nowhere to be found. The airline promised to deliver it within 24 hours. It arrived 4 days later at her hotel in another city. For the first night, she had nothing but her stained blouse, travel pants, and a hotel toothbrush roughly the size and texture of a nail file. Determined not to let misfortune ruin her trip, Sophie ventured out to explore the city. She took a bus tour, only to realize halfway through that she was on the wrong bus, one headed to a llama farm 2 hours away. The guide, a cheerful man named Diego, encouraged everyone to pet the llamas. Sophie, trying to make the best of it, approached one gently. The llama spat directly in her face. Back in Santiago, she checked her phone and discovered 20 messages from her credit card company, warning of suspicious transactions. Someone had apparently been buying designer shoes in Madrid with her card. Sophie, whose own shoes were soaked from an unexpected downpour, found the irony painful. That evening, she tried to unwind at a local restaurant. The waiter set down a bowl of traditional Chilean soup, caldillo de sangrio, which she promptly spilled onto her lap. The waiter offered napkins and sympathy. "At least," he said kindly, "you're having a true Chilean experience, messy but unforgettable." By the time Sophie finally returned to Paris 2 weeks later, she looked less like a glamorous traveler and more like a survivor of some elaborate cosmic prank. Yet, as she recounted her misfortunes to friends, they laughed so hard that even she began to giggle. Perhaps, she thought, every perfect trip needs a disaster or 10 to make it truly memorable. And while Sophie swore she'd never set foot on a plane again, she couldn't help but smile at the memory of that llama's smug little face. After all, how many people can say they've been personally insulted by livestock on vacation?
Last year, I planned a relaxing weekend in Rome. Everything went wrong the moment I arrived. My hotel had no record of my booking, so I had to stay in a small hostel that smelled like garlic and regret. The next morning, I got lost trying to find the Colosseum and ended up at a bus station in the middle of nowhere. To make matters worse, a pigeon decided to land directly on my head. When I finally reached the Colosseum, it started to rain so hard that my map disintegrated in my hands. I felt miserable at the time, but now I laugh whenever I see a pigeon. Sometimes the worst trips make the best stories.
Thank you so much for watching today's video. I really hope it helped you practice your English and learn something new. If you enjoyed it, please give it a like, and don't forget to subscribe so you won't miss the next lesson. I'd also love to hear from you, so share your thoughts in the comments below. Your support means a lot and helps this channel grow. See you again in the next video.